There is an herb growing across Asia that contains 64% omega-3 fatty acids, more than any fish, more than any seed, more than any supplement on the market. It self-seeds so aggressively that one planting creates a permanent food supply. Korean families have grown it for 2,000 years. Japanese cuisine depends on it. Yet Western nutrition science ignored it for a century. The omega-3 industry generates $4 billion annually selling fish oil. Meanwhile, this plant grows like a weed. Welcome back to Secrets Beneath Nature. Have you seen this plant growing wild near you? Drop a comment below. Walk into any Korean restaurant tonight. Watch the table next to you. They will wrap grilled meat in large green leaves with serrated edges and purple undersides. This is not lettuce. This is not spinach. This is perilla, and 500 million people across Asia eat it every single week. In Japan, they call it shiso. Every piece of sashimi arrives with a perilla leaf underneath. Tourists assume it is decoration. It is not. The leaf contains compounds that kill bacteria and parasites. Japanese chefs have known this for 500 years. The leaf is not garnish. It is medicine hiding in plain sight. In China, they call it zai su. Traditional medicine cabinets contain dried perilla for treating 40 different conditions: coughs, colds, nausea, skin inflammation, allergic reactions. The documentation fills thousands of pages in text that Western researchers never translated. Here is the first clue that something went wrong. You know basil, you know oregano, you know mint and rosemary and thyme. These herbs sit in every Western grocery store, but perilla, consumed by more people than all those herbs combined, does not exist in Western consciousness. Most Americans have never heard the word. The problem begins with names. Koreans call it kayanip, Japanese call it shiso, Chinese call it zisu, botanists call it Perilla frutescens. 4 names for one plant. No unified identity in Western languages. When a plant has no consistent name, it has no consistent presence in databases, cookbooks, or research funding. The fragmentation was not intentional, but the result was erasure. Compare this to cilantro. Same plant as coriander, different name for leaves versus seeds. But Western food culture unified these names. Everyone knows cilantro. It appears in every grocery store. Perilla never received this unification. It remained foreign in each separate encounter, never familiar, never integrated, never understood. The ancient record tells a different story. In China, around 200 AD, scholars compiled the Shenong Bencao Jing. This is the oldest surviving pharmacopoeia in human history. Perilla appears in its pages. The text describes using the leaves for respiratory ailments and the seeds for digestive problems. 2,000 years ago, Chinese physicians understood this plant's value. In Korea, a royal physician named Heo-jun spent 15 years writing the Donggibogam. He finished in 1613. This encyclopedia of Korean medicine documented 17 distinct uses for perilla, treating coughs, calming nausea, reducing inflammation, promoting digestion. The book became Korea's most important medical text. It guided physicians for 4 centuries. Yet Western scholars did not translate it until 1999. 386 years of medical knowledge locked behind a language barrier. In Japan during the Edo period, which lasted from 1603 to 1868, perilla cultivation reached 90% of farming households. Families grew it for food, medicine, and lamp oil. Before electricity, Japanese villages pressed perilla seeds for oil to light their homes. The crop served 3 functions simultaneously: food on the table, medicine in the cabinet, light in the darkness. But here is what matters most for survival. Perilla self-seeds with a ferocity that borders on aggression. A single plant produces between 1,000 and 4,000 seeds. 85% of those seeds will germinate. They remain viable in soil for 5 years or longer. Plant perilla once during one good season. The next spring, it returns without permission. The spring after that, it returns again, and again, and again. Korean farming villages have documented perilla patches growing on the same land for 10 generations. No replanting, no purchasing new seed. The crop simply continues. In agricultural terms, this is called naturalization. In practical terms, this is permanent food infrastructure. One decision by one ancestor feeds descendants for centuries. The leaves contain 3.9 grams of protein per 100 grams of fresh weight. This exceeds spinach. This exceeds kale. This exceeds most leafy greens that Western nutritionists celebrate. The calcium content reaches 230 milligrams. The iron content reaches 1.7 milligrams. Vitamin A concentration hits 5,520 international units. The leaves provide a complete nutritional package from a plant that requires no annual replanting. But the seeds hold the real treasure. In 1991, researchers at the National Institute of Nutrition in India analyzed Perilla seed oil. They found alpha-linolenic acid concentrations between 54 and 64%. Alpha-linolenic acid is the plant form of omega-3 fatty acids. 64%. No other plant on Earth comes close. Flaxseed oil contains 53% omega-3. Nutritionists celebrate flaxseed as a superfood. Chia seed oil contains 58%. Health food stores charge premium prices. But Perilla seed oil contains 64%, the highest concentration ever measured in any plant species, and almost no one in the Western world has ever heard of it. This gap requires explanation. In the 1970s, Danish researchers traveled to Greenland to study Inuit populations. They noticed something remarkable. Despite eating enormous amounts of fat, the Inuit had extremely low rates of heart disease. The researchers identified omega-3 fatty acids as the protective factor. Fish consumption became the explanation. Fish oil became the solution. By 1980, the supplement industry saw opportunity. Fish oil capsules entered the market. Marketing campaigns taught Western consumers that omega-3 came from fish. The message was simple: eat fish, take fish oil, protect your heart. By 2024, the global omega-3 supplement market reached $4 billion annually. Fish oil dominates this market. Krill oil captures the premium segment. Algae oil serves the vegetarian niche. Every product requires industrial processing, extraction, purification, encapsulation, quality control, cold chain shipping. The complexity creates barriers to entry, and the barriers protect profit margins. Now consider Perilla. The seeds can be cold-pressed with hand tools. No industrial facility required. No patents possible on the pressing of a seed. No extraction technology to license. No capsule formulation to protect. A farmer with a wooden press can produce omega-3 oil in a backyard shed. A crop that self-seeds cannot generate repeat seed sales. A product that requires no processing cannot generate processing revenue. Perilla threatens every link in the supplement supply chain. Search PubMed, the database of medical research. Type fish oil omega-3. You will find more than 15,000 studies. Now type Perilla oil omega-3. You will find 400 studies. The ratio is 37:1. This is not because fish oil works better. This is because fish oil has funding. The research gap is not accidental. Fish oil studies receive industry sponsorship. Supplement companies fund trials that support their products. Perilla research receives almost no Western industry funding. The studies that exist come primarily from Korean government institutions, Japanese universities, and Chinese research hospitals. The knowledge exists, but it exists in languages that Western databases historically ignored. Until the 2000s, major medical databases systematically under-indexed research published in Asian languages. A study published in Korean might as well not exist for American physicians. A breakthrough documented in Japanese reached no Western audience. The translation barrier functioned as an information wall, 2,000 years of knowledge on one side, $4 billion of industry on the other. The Donggwibogam sat untranslated for 386 years. During those centuries, Western medicine developed entirely without access to Korean pharmaceutical knowledge. Perilla documentation filled those pages. Western doctors never saw it. Western researchers never cited it. Western consumers never learned. Consider what modern research has finally confirmed. In 2003, Japanese researchers published a clinical trial in the Annals of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology. They gave Perilla extract to patients with seasonal allergies. The treatment group experienced 50% reduction in allergic symptoms. 50%. From an herb that grows like a weed. The active compound is rosmarinic acid. Perilla contains more rosmarinic acid than any other culinary herb ever tested. More than rosemary despite the name. More than basil, more than oregano. Rosmarinic acid reduces inflammation through mechanisms that pharmaceutical researchers have studied for decades. The compound inhibits enzymes that trigger allergic responses. The science is clear. The applications are documented. The plant remains unknown. In 2004, researchers published findings on Perilla and cancer prevention. The compounds in Perilla leaves inhibited tumor growth in laboratory studies. The specific agent was perillaldehyde, a molecule found almost exclusively in this plant. The research appeared in Biofactors, a respected peer-reviewed journal. Western oncologists did not notice. Western cancer patients did not learn. In 2010, Korean researchers studied diabetic patients consuming Perilla leaf extract. Blood sugar levels after meals dropped by 23%. 23% reduction in postprandial glucose from a leaf that self-seeds in any backyard garden. The pharmaceutical industry sells drugs for this exact purpose. Perilla does it for free. The pattern becomes visible. Every benefit that Perilla provides threatens an existing industry. Omega-3 supplements, allergy medications, blood sugar drugs, and anti-inflammatory treatments. Each category represents billions in annual revenue. Each could be partially replaced by a plant that costs nothing after the first planting. This is not conspiracy. This is economics. Companies fund research that supports their products. They do not fund research that would make those products unnecessary. Universities pursue grants from available sources. Those sources favor patentable interventions. A self-seeding plant cannot be patented. A cold-pressed oil cannot be protected. The funding flows elsewhere. The research follows the funding. The knowledge gaps persist. The seed industry reveals the same structure. Globally, farmers spend $60 billion annually on seeds. Corn, soy, wheat, cotton, all are annual crops, all requiring new seed purchases every planting season. The business model depends on repetition. Farmers must buy again and again and again. Perilla breaks this model. Buy seed once, plant once, harvest forever. Every spring, the previous year's dropped seeds germinate without permission. The crop expands. The farmer's costs disappear. A permanent food supply establishes itself. No corporation benefits from this transaction. No quarterly earnings improve. No shareholder value increases. The same pattern appeared with white clover. For 80 years, American lawn seed contained clover because clover fertilizes soil for free. Then herbicide manufacturers needed peacetime markets. They removed clover from seed mixes. They sold poison to kill what they had previously sold as beneficial. 3 generations later, homeowners pay for fertilizer that clover would have provided at no cost. Perilla faced no such active campaign. No company deliberately suppressed it. The mechanism was simpler. Neglect. A plant that generates no repeat revenue generates no marketing budget. A crop that needs no inputs needs no input suppliers. The system that promotes profitable plants simply ignored the profitable ones. But the plant waited. It always waits. Perilla has grown in Asia for 2,000 years. It survived dynastic collapses. It survived wars. It survived industrialization. It survived being ignored by the most powerful food system in human history. And it is still there, still growing, still producing 64% Omega-3 in its seeds. You can grow it yourself. Perilla thrives in USDA zones 4 through 10. This covers most of the continental United States and equivalent climates in Europe. The plant tolerates poor soil. It tolerates drought once established. It tolerates neglect. These are the characteristics of a survival crop. Plant seeds directly in soil after the last frost date, or start them indoors 6 weeks earlier. Space plants 12 inches apart, though they tolerate crowding. Water occasionally during establishment. After the first season, water becomes optional. The plant adapts to local rainfall. Harvest leaves throughout the growing season. They taste like a combination of mint and basil with hints of anise. Eat them fresh in salads. Wrap them around grilled meat. Add them to soups. Dry them for tea. The options match Asian cuisines that have explored this plant for millennia. In fall, allow some plants to flower. The flower spikes produce thousands of seeds. Let them drop, let them scatter. Let them establish next year's crop without any action from you. This is the self-seeding promise. One planting becomes a permanent presence. Collect excess seeds for oil production. Small hand presses cost less than $100. Cold pressing extracts oil without damaging the omega-3 content. One harvest provides a year of omega-3 supplementation. No capsules, no fish, no industry, just a backyard and patience. The seeds also store indefinitely when kept dry. Traditional Korean households maintain seed supplies for years. The emergency value is obvious. If supply chains fail, if stores close, if industrial systems collapse, the seeds in your shed still grow. The plant still self-seeds. The omega-3 still reaches 64%. This is what resilience looks like. Not bunkers and freeze-dried meals. Not supplements shipped from factories across oceans. Resilience is a plant that returns every spring without asking. A plant that feeds you, provides medicine, and replants itself while you sleep. The question was never why did Asia hide this herb. Asia did not hide anything. Korean grandmothers wrap meat in perilla leaves at every family dinner. Japanese restaurants serve shiso with every piece of raw fish. Chinese medicine shops stock dried perilla on open shelves. The knowledge was always there, always public, always available. The question is why Western systems failed to notice. Why 15,000 studies on fish oil and 400 on perilla oil? Why $4 billion spent on supplements that a backyard garden could replace? Why 64% omega-3 content remained unknown to populations spending premium prices for 53% alternatives? The answer is not conspiracy. The answer is structure. Economic systems see what benefits economic systems. Research follows funding. Funding follows patents. Patents require control. Perilla cannot be controlled. It self-seeds. It spreads. It naturalizes. It becomes wild. It becomes free. What cannot be owned cannot be sold. What cannot be sold cannot be marketed. What cannot be marketed does not enter consciousness. 3 generations of Westerners grew up without ever hearing the word Perilla. Not because anyone hid it, because no one profited from revealing it. But you know now. You know that the highest omega-3 plant exists. You know that it self-seeds forever. You know that 500 million people eat it weekly. You know that modern research validates ancient applications. You know that you can grow it in most climates with minimal effort. You know that one planting creates permanent food infrastructure. The seed companies will not tell you. The supplement industry will not tell you. The medical establishment will not tell you. The information threatens too many revenue streams. But the plant does not care about revenue streams. It cares about reproduction. It cares about spreading. It cares about establishing itself wherever soil and sunlight permit. For 2,000 years, Perilla has pursued this single agenda. It will continue for 2,000 more. Subscribe and watch the next video to discover more secrets hidden beneath nature.